One second. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Happy Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here in just a second. Posting these in different avenues really quick. All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Live in YouTube, links in the bio. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and cover the news. If you guys weren't with us just a little bit ago, we were answering questions, all that good stuff. So now, Potter Sunday statistics. But now we're gonna go ahead and go over the news, go over the watch list, go over the setups, and I'll take a couple requests from y'all if you guys want to drop those in the YouTube comments. For those of you guys just hopping on, if you guys are going to stay on TikTok, which once I get done with the news, I'll flip the screen and you guys can see the screen. But for now, if you guys don't mind just tapping your screens, I do appreciate it. All right, let me double check the health here. All right, that's perfect. Okay. Alrighty, so as far as just recapping this last week, guys, we had stocks just in general capped out their fourth straight week of gains, and cryptocurrencies their sixth as risk assets continue to rally. We saw July's consumer price and produce index both showed a downtick in inflation, driven primarily by the decline in energy prices. We also discussed why some investors are looking to crude oil's chart as a real-time read on inflation. U.S. worker productivity fell to its steepest year-over-year pace since 1948, while unit labor costs rose more than expected. Of course, last week we saw all the meme stocks, AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath and Beyond. That was kind of a tongue twister there. We also had NVIDIA's pre-announced earnings and forecast put a damper on semiconductor stocks, obviously last week, early in the week through the sector. SOX did rebound, though, of course, with on kind of pulling them up. We saw Peloton making some major changes, seeing their stock move up as well. The S&P closed up 3.26% last week. NASDAQ 3.08%. The Russell 4.93%, and the Dow up 2.92%. So all was green. A couple bulletins I want to go over here. Of course, earnings going into this next week is Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Walmart, Macy's, as well as key investor event for Fubo TV. This week, investors will get a good look at the housing market index. Next week with releases on the NHB Housing Market Index. Building permits, housing starts, and existing home sales being thrown into the mix, obviously, with those earnings reports. The deceleration in inflation is an intense focus on it, or excuse me, while the deceleration of inflation adds intense focus on inflation and interest rates this week, while deceleration in inflation adds some intrigue to the release by the Federal Reserve on August 17th on the minutes of the last meeting. August 17th, guys, let's stop right there. August 17th, Federal Reserve FOMC minutes. We know how this goes. We know how to prepare for it. We know that Monday's a decent trading day. If there has never been a time that you have been able to practice the discipline of being able to watch for the first 30 minutes on a week where you know that there could be indecision, then do what you must. But you're going to learn your lesson again if your style of trading does not permit. If you're not quick scalping, or even if you're not quite ready for the volatility that that could bring, or the lack of volatility that could bring. So we also have a couple of things here. Of course, the Federal Federal Reserve members will meet in Jackson Hole at the end of August, and we'll have new inflation and job reports to digest while deciding whether to pull the trigger on a 50-point or 75-point rate hike at the September meeting. Couple things. Meta, if we do see downside this week, Apple issued another blow, if you will, to Facebook's advertising business. The recent job ad showed Apple is building a team to manage a demand side platform, or DSP, and has been offering more advertising placement in its app store. The company has been making it harder for companies that rely on tracking across other apps and websites to operate as Apple generates its efforts to make advertising a meaningful revenue generator for its business. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have Apple products, I actually noticed that a lot of time it asks me if I want that app to track the information. So good week. Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now if you guys are not live with us. So all right, that's about it. So let's really quickly go over, if you guys just want to take a look at that. So again, besides that, tomorrow we have pretty much low impact. We do have the housing market index, and then the TIC net long-term transactions and Empire State Manufacturing. So nothing there, but housing starts and building permits August 16th. So these 2 days, August 16th and 17th, if I'm not trading, all right, I'm trying to be a good example. And sometimes I think that me just showing up could be me being a bad example. So a lot of the times I just would, if I was on not, I just wouldn't show up, because if I've had a great week last week. Last week was crazy. And so why would I bleed myself on a week where we could see lack of volatility? And we know we've talked about this last Friday, and we talked about it just a little bit ago. But how a lot of stocks are up against major supply, major resistance. So what is up? Bullish or bearish on the QQQ? Right now, I haven't seen too many reversal signs, but we'll see what Monday brings. So. What's up, Rick? What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys. If you guys are tuning in with us on YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and cover Meta really quickly. Oops. So really quickly, we saw the weekly candle close on Meta pretty strong. All right, so seeing a pullback, obviously we've seen most of these weekly candles give us signs of a reversal, but this is a pretty strong bullish candle for Meta, which is nearing its downtrend, or is at its downtrend. So looking for a major break over 185, and then moving down here to the daily. You guys can see some weaker red candles or pushback as we near resistance. So we may see one more pullback here on Monday or further consolidation. We'll see what the market gives us, but we're up against this major resistance, tons of confluence here, and it would really be a significant break above 184 that I could possibly consider another move to the upside to 188.57 or or just 188. So that's Meta. Hourly time frame. All right, so talked about this a little bit ago. This is our downtrend here. So there's a possibility that we go and tap this 181.75. I'll be watching for a break above that, or so there's a lower time frame setup here I want to go over really quickly. So Meta right there, 1, 2, zoom in a little bit. Take a look at the gap. All right, if you want to narrow the gap down, it's going to be below 178.85 and then flush through. I see the gap at 177.60. That would be a break in trend, and I would, if the candle closes below 176, or excuse me, 177.80, 176, excuse me, 176.80, then I would consider continuation down to this key level, probably in the 174 to 175 level, and that would be a solid retest. Otherwise, there's a lot of stuff behind or below us. So if we want to take a look at kind of what I'm talking about here, so basically, there it is. All right, so we got the support there. You guys can see resistance there. It's pretty simple. Box it out, short there, long here. Not that simple, but you guys catch my drift. So, can you TikTok the chart? Yeah, give me a minute. Did you ditch the MetaPerts you alerted? No, I bought them on Friday before the close. They're just speculative, but we'll see what happens. So, if you guys are on YouTube with me right now, and you guys I see all of your requests. I'm gonna start working down that list. Um, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button below your screen, helps the algorithm. All right, so Meta, Tesla is next on the watch list. I know you guys are super eager. A lot of you Tesla maniacs. So here's the deal. First of all, I think you guys can see what I'm showing you right here. This is an inverse head and shoulders on the hourly time frame. We've got a nice drop here. Take a look at that. Boing, boing. We like that. We need it to hold this level. All right. So from here to here, right? If you lose the ceiling, you're going to head to this median, right? And that's going to be at 875. All right. So hold 891, not just 900, but 891. And I think you'll be okay as far as moving or continuing to move to the upside. You do have a wall at 905 and 907, excuse me, not 907, 908. And then you also have a couple of wicks right here. You guys can see those. Those are not, that's 915. Now, you guys know the number 1, 2, 3. Anytime you tap a certain price mark more than 3 times, if you have decent volume, you should move to the upside. Now that's Tesla as of right now. I do and was talking to somebody before I hopped on live that this is a possibility. All right. And if it does pull back this next week and breaks below 873, I would watch for this Florida snap, which is 858 and obviously 850. And then at that point, I think that you would end up probably establishing a downtrend from here. But at the moment, it still looks bullish. You've got a little bit of a gap. So let me not confuse you guys. This tiny little gap here to 925 is where I would be watching Tesla to the upside. So where's the buzz at? What are you talking about? Going to pop to 1200. We'll see about that. I mean, that'd be cool. I'll trade it all the way up. You guys want to see? If you guys are on YouTube, look what they said. They're peer pressuring me. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so Tesla, I'll be keeping an eye on that one as well. I'm going to also keep my eye on the dumbest stock to ever exist. No, I'm just kidding. Baba. So watch for Baba to possibly make a decent sized move up to the $98.25 level or just $98 even. At the moment, I don't really have enough to call it bearish. It did end up reversing and filling its gap all the way to the upside. I don't really play Baba to the upside. I'm kind of stubborn that way, but $96 and $96 flat is the next resistance above you. Why? Look at that. Bounce, resistance. It doesn't stop. So watch 95.81, and then you should see a release back up to that 97.40 level. And then at that point, if you didn't end up breaking to the upside, I'd be kind of surprised. But at this point, as you can see, we've got a pretty straightforward support when it comes to Baba, at least on the hourly. And then if you guys take a look at the daily time frame, you guys can see that we're still kind of set up right here. We've got this big gap below us. And so I'm thinking that we either just kind of are delaying the inevitable because all of this buying is happening on extraordinarily extraordinarily low volume. So is it going to be posted on YouTube? Yes, all of this is posted on YouTube. So the 43 of you guys still watching on TikTok, I don't know if you're looking at this, it's not much here, or the robe. If you're here for the robe, that's tight. I appreciate you. It's also on TikTok though, just a little bit darker. All right, that's it. So that's it for me. So let's go ahead. I already took a look at Tesla, Baba. So let's take a look at NVDa. Oh my God, what is this chart? Let's go ahead and start again. Start fresh. Oh man. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with just these key zones here. All right, so you guys already know the deal. It looks like NVIDIA has broken back up into this floor. It's up against its 200-day moving average on the daily 4-hour time frame. So number one, you just have to finish the rest of your gap. I think that's 190. So you have 190 gap fill here to the upside. Let's go to the lower time frame now. These Friday charts. Yeah, we love that robe. Awesome. Can you screen share on TikTok too? No, unfortunately, I wish I could, but I can't. I've been trying to figure out how to do that. So I'm not really sure. I see a lot of setup here on the daily as far as breaking back into this zone. You guys can see that. Let me clean it up just a little bit. There it is. So nice push back into that zone, but I think most of you guys are already seeing, if you guys have been trading with me for any remote amount of time, you probably know exactly what I'm about to show you. Boom, bada bing. All right, so this does look a little bit like a wedge, but how do we confirm that this is possibly even a setup? I've been discussing this. I talked about this multiple times. I need confluences. Confluences are basically where certain sets of data, right? Because all moving averages indicators are just data, right? They need to converge at least or in around a certain price mark. And that's essentially how I pick my price targets. That being said, obviously, we know a thing or two about wedges. They can extend into channels. So this could very easily rip and push up, all the way to 192 or even higher, 195, and establish a channel to the upside, and we could be smoked. But at the moment, there's a lot of push up and then some pretty heavy selling, and this has occurred multiple times. So in my opinion, I would say that a push up to around 190, where that gap or that closes at right there, and then a potential reversal. So I'll show you what that looks like if this technical pattern did end up pulling back. Now, the cool thing about this, right? Now, I mean, candle closes matter. So if it wicked up and then pulled back and closed underneath, I would say a 15-minute candle close underneath this trend line or at this trend line showing a rejection would probably, obviously bleed in to that sentiment. And then I would say the median kind of hovering right here around 191 is kind of another confluence. So the way that this can trend, right? And this is the one thing about timing. You don't want to try and time how this goes. You can not move, right? You could sit flat and then pop, right? And you could hit this 191. So I would just make sure that that trend line is respected. A rejection at the median would bring you back 50%, right? Because anytime you see a wedge, you can measure it from the top to whatever the potential top will be, right? Or bottom to top, it doesn't matter. And then 50% of that. And that just happens to be in perfect confluence with 181, which is the major level that we would need to hold in order to stay inside of the zone, right? This is where buyers are supposed to step up. And if they don't step up, then obviously you could potentially see a pullback from there. But yeah, at the moment, I would say that that's the setup for now. Converge, is that your trigger for a personal algorithm? So I've been talking to a couple of people about getting an indicator that basically would show convergence without indicators. So it would run a series of indicators to show convergence at certain price marks, but it's a work in progress. We still need to meet more people. When's the free trial link coming up? I had that up on Friday, my boy. Oops. Thank you guys. 18 likes on YouTube. There's 58 of you guys. Math ain't math. Unless you guys just don't like it, then I appreciate your honesty. All right, so that's NVDa. If you are not in the Discord, I will go ahead and tweet this image out. So if you guys want to take a look at this chart, here you go. I'll give him the clout. I don't know what that tweet said, and I'm just going to ignore it. All right, so if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, the link is in the bio. What's up? All right. John, that is a really good question. So sometimes I hear you guys say Apple is holding the S&P or SPY QQQ up, but sometimes it's S&P, it's QQQ holding Apple up. How do you know when it's the ticker or the index influencing the other? So honestly, you can see it. So like, let's say Apple is on a tear. They announced another split or something crazy, and the stock is, going parabolic. That's going to carry the market. Now, SPY carries a lot of, or holds a lot of Apple, so obviously it's going to drag that up with it. If the market in general is following that sentiment, and a lot of the times that's all it takes. It just takes, like one or two major things and a lack of sentiment, and you're on your way. And then a lot of the times when you have sometimes a lack of sentiment or volatility, it's like the S&P kind of like buying up Apple or something like that, where you'll see, for the most part, I would say, and this is give or take, but a lot of the times, why one leads the other, I believe that when S&P moves and stocks aren't moving as well, a lot of the times that's kind of like a heads up for, not a fake out, but I would say, I don't know. When it comes to like why exactly one is holding up one or the other, I'm not exactly sure. But I would say that when I know for sure when Apple, obviously one is holding the other. So if Apple is a giant holding in the S&P and it rips to the upside, that's basic, right? If the S&P is ripping and stocks are just kind of lagging behind it, a lot of the times that's just seems like algorithmic trading or like computers, in my opinion. So a lot of the times, Top Shelf explains this a lot better than I can, but basically, or you could ask Manny, but when you what does he say? If index buying, will see stocks rise. If Apple is moving on news or whatever, we can see it lead the S&P because of the weight it carries. Basically, exactly. Right. Okay. You may hear the term relative strength and relative weakness comparing to a stock overall. My eyes are blurry right now. PotterStocks, I love you, man. Dos Tito's por favor. I love you too, dude. I'm reading backwards. Maybe make it a little bit more sense. I find myself chasing and holding. I think I need more training. Our charts or candle readings helpful. I have a lot of information in my Discord you can check out. No, my ADHD's off the chain right now. All right. I'll chill out, Manny. This man just gave me. That's a Tito's right there, though, right? Yeah, links in the bio, brother. All right, so let's go to the next one. Keys. I'm gonna be charting till about 9 o'clock, guys. I was already charting before, and I ended at about 7:30, so probably gonna go ahead and shut it down around 9. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna try and power my way through these. All right, so you're moving up into this zone right here. The top of that is right there at 172.75. Let's zoom in a little bit. 4-hour time frame. Yeah, that looks good to me. 172, 173. Looks like you broke over the median here. Nice push back up. It does look. Oh no, you picked up volume. You got earnings August 17th. So let me just say this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop with the analysis because price action before you're in a consolidation zone. So I would expect further consolidation. But as far as price targets on where this could go to the upside on earnings, I would say as high as 182. If things go well, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with this at all. If things go great, probably around 190. If things go bad or not that great, I would say probably be move back to the 160s. If things are terrible, a move to around the 150s. So if that's a strategy you're looking to take, there you go. So, all right. So Chuck, I can't tell you specifically whether you should go long or short, but target. I'm actually planning on playing a lot of earnings on my gambling. Well, again, not for small accounts, but I'm planning on taking a couple earnings plays on things like Target with them having the front load. So, um, personally, they have earnings so close. Um, You've got a ton of low volume above you on target. I would say that 181 is the most obvious target to the upside, 180. Next one would probably be in the 190s if you did end up having a pretty good earnings. If things didn't go so hot or if they did end up falling, I mean, I'm not saying this is like for sure, but I mean, I could see fucking Target moving back down to maybe the 140s or terrible like 131. I doubt that, but that would be if things just got out of hand. So yeah, Discord links in the bio. So what's up, Mako? Yeah, I chart. Did I choose my minty? My minty? Possibly. Still still observing, but yes. Target does have low volume. I would say it's kind of average, close to average, but has had very low volume. Yes. So let's keep it moving. Amazon. Oh my God. So this one's super easy, in my opinion. Check it out. All right. So this is a zone. This is looks like, yeah, 144, right into the 144s. 144 even. You can see same thing pretty much over here. This is where you get a candlestick and a flush. The median is at 140. Psychological number, you've got a gap below you. You've got a dynamic trend line here. This is the same thing as Meta. And you have a small gap right here. So anywhere below here, I would say that you're probably going to go for a drop to 135. If you lose the 135 level, you do have a little gap there as well. Things could get pretty messy with the return and retest of the 130s on Amazon. Otherwise, if you pull back, watch for a bounce around 139, 140, and then another push to the upside. And then I have a target of 150 on Amazon. All right. Looks like the SQQ is due for a big bounce. Big bounce. Kind of. Hold on. So that's the 4-hour channel here. Okay, you just gap filled on the SQQ. I don't know, man. This kind of looks pretty spiffy. I think you might see a reversal here, which would mean that my theory was right. Yeah, you got a wedge here. So either A, watch for a bounce off of 33.25. I'm going to add an alert to that trend line. I'm going to add alert to that trend line. And then I'm going to go set a couple key levels. That's going to be 36.65 right there. Then you got a gap to fill right above you. Got another gap up here. So I would say at the moment, SQQ looks like it's due for a pretty big boing type move, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we fell out of a wedge, but I see a channel. And that's the thing about wedges, is wedges oftentimes extend and turn into channels. Have you done Google? No. You guys can go and watch the whole live. We will be trading live tomorrow morning, Monday, August 15th, Eastern Time. Or August 15th, 9:30 Eastern Time. I'll be on live at 9 for those of you on YouTube. And remember, in the Discord, that's where I'm signaling. Also, if you're in the Discord, please make sure you guys go and check the announcement channel every once in a while. If you guys lost your membership to the Discord, that's because the old ones ran out and the new ones are available on the website. So if you don't have a membership, just go to same thing as you did before. And please, for the love of everything that is nice and beautiful, please save your key. For me, do it for me, please. I might have to just clip that right there and save it. So okay, that works. You plan on taking a straddle for target? Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I'm in some speculative puts. What's up? Oh, dude, my phone is so hot. I think it's going to explode. Shout out to the 15 people hanging out in here. All right, so let's go take a look at the QQQ now that we got that one. Oh, what is this? What is this? Let's find out on this episode of Am I Delusional, or are the markets going to actually reverse? So you gotta just okay. So I'm gonna call it right now. All right, I'm gonna call 332.50 or 332.85. Maybe 333. If it's 333, so be it. If we don't reject there, I'm wrong, and that's just how that is. I'm just wrong. So 333. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. We saw the SQQ. The first pullback probably is going to occur and happen at 325.50 and 325 even. Below that, okay, so this is going to be super duper important because if we bounce, you don't want to be caught looking dumb. So how do we not look dumb? We don't look dumb. I'm making sure that we close below our floor. Okay? There you go. All right, so 321.65 gap, obviously gap fill here, or not gap fill, but bottom is going to be here at 318.50. If you close below 318.50, I would go ahead and start looking at the higher time frame support, which I believe we're not at yet, but that is likely to be the first place, and that's going to be right around the gap fill of 317. So it doesn't really matter, but that's what I would be paying attention to for the Qs. And then, of course, most importantly, besides trend lines and all that other fancy shit, we want to make sure we know where price reacts. So all right. Yes, sir. Just trying to learn as much as possible. Awesome, man. Make sure to go to watch the YouTube video, man, as well. Huh. Interesting. I think we talked about this one, didn't we? Well, well. Um, so obviously that's worth considering. 133.50 and 134.25. You could watch for a move up into the previous 136.60 close or open, excuse me. So. How come I chose YouTube instead of Twitch for streaming? Because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to social media. All of this was just a piss in the wind. I just figured, let's see what happens. and it happened. And so then now I'm learning how to which one's better. I don't know. If Twitch was better, I guess I would check out Twitch. But yeah, last time I went on Twitch, all I saw were things that were not games. So I want to play a game. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off with that one. Looks like I got most of them. Yeah. Okay, so we'll look at mRNA, and then we'll go ahead and shut it down for the night. I just did the Qs. You know what? Hold on. Before I do that, I don't think that's right. That's right. Watch for a fucking wicked bounce on mRNA. You got a bear flag here. You've got a 200-day moving average, 164. Watch for a ripperoni back up into the 205.65 level for a proper supply test. Possibly. Might be a little bit lower. There you go. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking right now. Anywhere below here. So 160, 150, I could see some further downside. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Yes, Carlos. Empire State Manufacturing Index reports at 8:30 tomorrow. Consensus is expected to be 5. If it's anything higher, that's bullish for the dollar. Pullback for stocks. Yes. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. If you guys are mentors, I'll see you guys at 7:30. Same time. Come with your charts, levels, everything. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.